Good morning. I'm Jada Williams, a member of your parish committee. My pronouns are she, her, hers. We are glad you're here online or in person in our beautiful sanctuary with the beautiful sunlight we've been waiting for. I'd like to welcome any and all visitors who may be joining us today. Here at First Parish, our mission is to build community, search for meaning, deepen our spirituality, and to make a better world. To learn more about First Parish or Unitarian Universalism, please visit uuwayland.org or contact Kate Holland, Director of Lifespan Education and Engagement. Please also reach out to a member of the parish committee or to Reverend Stephanie if you have any ideas or questions about First Parish. A big thanks to all of our service participants whose names are in the order of service. Please note that Middlesex County currently has a high risk for COVID, so we require that people wear masks to keep us all safe. Any service participant that unmasks has tested negative for COVID this morning. Please join me in taking a moment to say hello to one another, including a wave to the rear camera, and for those online. Welcome again, and let our service begin. Good morning. Good morning. I am so happy to welcome everyone in this morning. It is a special service for us, if you haven't been before. It is an RE, or Religious Education, Sunday for All. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a short service, and then all of us can choose our own adventure and go off to different classes that will start teaching us a little bit about Hinduism, which is our monthly theme this year. So I have opening words from Jason Cook. We seekers are on a quest to discover truth and meaning. Sometimes we think we found it, wrapped up, glimmering with newness, straight off of the assembly line of intellect. All the answers right here for us and others, if only they'd listen. But truth has a way of coming in disguise, sometimes wearing rags and sometimes quite fancy, but so often cloaked from our immediate sight. And sometimes that which we have rejected, that which we have let go, or decided was for others but not us, can be our teacher. Let our time of worship be an acknowledgement of the never-ending journey towards the truth and meaning, and our appreciation of those we learn from along the way. I'm going to invite the Williams family to come and light our chalice and lead us in our covenant, which is printed in your order of service.
Please join me in saying our covenant. With open minds and loving hearts, we gather to search for meaning, to care for one another, and to work together for a better world.
Okay, speaking of challenging ourselves to journey and learn new things, we're going to try a hymn that's in our hymnal that we've never... I heard that during my sabbatical you did try to sing this once. So we're going to sing it again. Hymn number 178, Raga Pushti. And Polly already helped us because the tune was her prelude. So the song should be in your ear, hopefully, a little bit. And we'll make mistakes, but that's okay. So let's just sing out as we're able. Please rise in body or in spirit as we sing. Okay. Here we are. Does anybody know where India is? Other side, right? Right here, on the whole other side of the globe. Anyone been to India? I'm looking at the Sims. You guys lived there. India is the home of Hinduism, which has been called the oldest living religious tradition. The oldest text, the Rig Veda, dates to 1500 BCE, more than 3,500 years ago. Over the many, many years of Hinduism, there have been a lot of changes. New sacred texts, prayers, stories, and songs that blend together in a network of ideas and practices. And today, there are Hindus in nearly every country in the world, not just in India. Given all the many years and different understandings of Hinduism, it's really better to speak of the Hindu traditions in the plural to indicate the different threads of understanding and expression that exist today. And yet, there are some elements of religious belief and expression that allow us to recognize the Hindu traditions. For one, there are certain gods and goddesses that appear again and again. The most ancient and supreme gods are Brahma, the creator, Vishnu, the sustainer, and Shiva, the destroyer. Some of those names might ring a bell, is what you've heard. There is also a triad of eminent goddesses: Saraswati, who is linked to Brahma, Lakshmi, who is linked to Vishnu, and Parvati, who is linked to Shiva. There are many gods and goddesses within the scriptures and stories of Hinduism. And sometimes the same god or goddess will appear in a different form or incarnation known as an avatar. This means that the same divinity will have many names and many forms that appear throughout the different stories and texts. It can seem confusing. When I toured the Hindu temple in Ashland with my friend Mati last month, I asked her, "How do you remember all the names of the gods and goddesses?" She simply said that you grow up with it. Indeed, from the ancient epic Mahabharata, of which the Bhagavad Gita is a section, to modern-day books and YouTube videos for kids, the literature is enormous. We all absorb so much simply from being within a culture, learning its images, becoming familiar with the narratives. Like, why are there images of bunnies with candy popping up in spring? Or a white bearded red suited man in December? And yet, amidst this multiplicity of divine image figures, many within Hinduism also hold to the idea of Brahman, a reality that transcends all personal names, but not to be confused with the creator god, Brahma. In the reality of Brahman, there is a oneness beneath the many, a singularity of essence that appears not only in the multiplicity of divine expressions, but also in the essence of each of us, an essence known as Atman. If you want to get philosophical about it, this view is more akin to monism, a single source, than monotheism, a single God. I'll talk theology later if you want. So this Atman, the essence of a self, is understood to outlive the body, to be reborn. This is an idea in Hinduism that you may be familiar with, the sense that people can be reborn to be a bug or a plant or a cow or a human. What you become in your rebirth or reincarnation is linked to the karma you have accumulated in your life, the balance of your good and bad actions. For this reason, many seek through good action and or through acts of devotion to the gods and goddesses to increase their good karma for a better life. But being born again and again and again is not seen as a good thing. And one of the questions Hinduism raises is whether there is a way to be released from this cycle of rebirth. Such a release, known as moksha, returns the self, the Atman, to that eternal reality of oneness, Brahman, I've heard this described as like a drop of water returning to the ocean. There is so much more to be said about Hinduism, and it is admittedly a lot more complicated than what I've said here today. I've tried to just give you a big overview so that we all have a place to start. I am far from an expert, and I have really enjoyed the challenge to learn more about Hinduism to prepare for our theme this month. As we prepare to split into groups for Ari for All, I invite us all to learn a bit more about Hinduism than we knew before arriving here today. Join Kate in the vestry to hear a story about Ganesha's sweet tooth, and then help to make some of the food in the story, but we'll have to be eating it outside because of the whole mask thing. Or you can join me in Stokey Library or in the breakout room online to explore some of the many images of the divine in Hinduism. Or stay right here in the sanctuary, and you online don't have to do a thing, to explore more deeply the ideas of rebirth and release with Laurel Whitehouse and Alyssa. There is also a one-page sheet about Hinduism in the back of the sanctuary, and also linked in the e-blast. There's always a block about the monthly theme, and there's always also a printed version here in the sanctuary each month. And there's links in that to even more stuff. So you can it's an invitation to keep learning. I believe we can all learn more about Hinduism, and hopefully in the process learn to deepen our respect for more than 1 billion Hindus in our shared world today. And maybe we might also learn that what at first might seem strange or weird to us is just different. Encountering and exploring the difference might just widen our wonder of the world and the people in it. May it be so.
Hello, my name is Alyssa Lee. I'm the ministerial intern here at First Parish. As we prepare to learn more about Hinduism in a moment, please join me in the spirit of prayer. Let's take a deep breath, in and out. Let's take another deep breath in and out. Spirit of peace and connection, as we embark on the beginnings of a new year and move past the festivities of the holiday season and look ahead, many of us are feeling uncertain and even anxious. We're entering a second year of war in the Ukraine, and we watch from afar feeling helpless. This week, many of us watched as some of the people who are supposed to be leaders of our country demonstrated a greater interest in self than in the care and concern for our union. And as we mark the 2-year anniversary of the January 6th insurrection, some of us fear that those ultimately responsible will never be held accountable. With all of this uncertainty, disappointment, and even anger, may we find hope in those who are working for peace, those who are trying to hold our country together and advocate for its healing. May we in this community be a source of comfort for one another, a signpost for what is good and for what we can hold on to. May our legacy be our commitment to one another and to the love and compassion for ourselves, for each other, and for our world. Amen. So I was talking to someone the other day about why church, why is it so important to me, and why is it important to me that my family attends. And I think a lot of it is that intergenerational experience that so many of us have, and that's why I like days like today, RE for All, because it gives us an opportunity to mix it up, go to different classes if we want to, and have interactions with people that we may not always interact with, have some of that intergenerational experience, which I think is so important, because where else do we really come together with groupings of people that we're not related to, we're not forced to work with, who are from all different walks of life, and we all are committed to being in community with one another, and I just think that's wonderful, and I'm so happy that my child gets to experience that. And so when you support the work of First Parish, you are also supporting this wonderful community and this wonderful opportunity to engage in this intergenerational activities with one another. If you would like to donate online, you can go to uuwayland.org/donate. You can also download the Vanco mobile app or use your smartphone to text 833-264-0104. And they will also be passing around the basket today. So we will gratefully receive your offering. Thank you.
Can we have a round of applause for the choir for learning something? Thank you. You can rise this is it, the benediction. Here we go. As a reminder, there are 3 options for RE for All. You can stay right here and learn more about karma and reincarnation and moksha, or release, with Laura Whitehouse and Alyssa. If you're online, just stay where you are. We're going to just keep streaming from this room. You can go to the vestry, the large room directly below, and with Kate, and you'll learn about Ganesha's sweet tooth and some of the food in Indian Hindu culture. Or go to Stokey Library in the back, and you can, and I'll be talking about divine images. I have a PowerPoint. And if you're online and you want to join us for that, Alyssa's going to hop online, and can you come back here now so you're ready? And help, if you need help going to the breakout room, just Alyssa will be on some headphones and she can hear you and she can help move you to the Divine Images breakout room. I think I covered all of that. And just a reminder, because we're in high, we're going to have community time. You're welcome to sit out and chat with each other. If you want to have some of the snacks from the group, that's fine. You just need to step outside to unmask. Okay, and I actually wrote down the start of my benediction so I wouldn't get stuck this time. Sustained by our connections to each other and to all that is holy and different, let us go and be beyond these walls, bringing more light and life, love and justice to our shared world. Amen.